I think what we're anticipating is a firming of the all-risk market. We have seen some signs of that so far this year. I mean, the rate increases have been relatively modest. We're talking kind of single-digit percentage increases in rate. I think there is an expectation that that could possibly harden as we move through the final quarter. And I think we're probably going to see that mostly on the bigger placements where the capacity is the tightest.
Welcome to Global Marketplace Insights by Willis, a WTW business, a podcast series sharing the latest trends from the specialty and regional insurance markets.
Hello and welcome back to the Marketplace Insights podcast series, where we are discussing the current states of the market for aviation. I am Becky Chapman, Associate Broker in Willis Aviation and Space, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Ed Louth, who is our Head of Broking for Willis Aviation and Space. To start with, Ed, can you explain the current market dynamics regarding capacity in the aviation market?
So we're entering the final quarter of the year, which, as many of you will know, is the busiest time of year for airline insurance, particularly with most of the major programs renewing. And really we're seeing a continuation of the conditions from earlier in the year. There continues to be new capacity entering the war market. We've seen another syndicate starting with effect from 1st of October, so there has been a flood of capacity in that area, and that trend is continuing. The all risks is looking a bit more pressured. We've seen a lot of loss activity this year in a way that we haven't for a number of years, and we've seen very little capacity enter that space. There are a couple of MGAs who have started up who are writing business around the fringes of the aviation world, but we haven't seen a big insurer start up really for 3 or 4 years now. So I think capacity is enough for now, but we don't have a kind of flood of new markets who are looking to enter aviation currently.
So how do you see this affecting pricing over the next quarter?
I think what we're anticipating is a firming of the all-risk market. We have seen some signs of that so far this year. I mean, the rate increases have been relatively modest. We're talking kind of single-digit percentage increases in rate. I think there is an expectation that that could possibly harden as we move through the final quarter. And I think we're probably going to see that mostly on the bigger placements where the capacity is the tightest. So the big wide-bodied aircraft operators who need substantial liability limits are probably going to be the hardest placements, I would guess, in the final quarter. On the contra side of that, really, and as a counterbalance, the war, we are seeing softening, and again, we are seeing that trend accelerate. So at the start of the year, we were seeing single-digit rate reductions. I think we're now well into double-digit rate reduction territory for a lot of placements. So there is no sign of that trend coming to an end.
And do you see any changes to coverage or limits as we move into the last quarter?
So I think we have seen a bit of appetite from clients to buy more limit. So I think an extra $200 or $300 million at the top of the programme, I think some people have taken a decision looks reasonable value currently, and I think we may see a few more clients opt to expand limits. We haven't really seen any major changes in coverage, and I don't think we're anticipating any. There has been a move from some of the war insurers to tighten up the war exclusion clause. I would say, as Willis, on behalf of our clients, we're not very happy with the new version of the clause, and so I think we will be arguing strongly against accepting that on placements. But I don't really see that the market is in a strong enough position to enforce that currently.
And how about geopolitical aspects? Are you seeing the geopolitical landscape affecting the whole war insurance?
With the 5 years that we've had, I've given up trying to predict what the future may bring from a geopolitical standpoint, but we're in a turbulent world. There are active conflicts, there are flashpoints, there is antagonism between major powers in a way that I haven't rarely seen in my lifetime. And I think the scary part is that we're one poor piece of judgment away from something fairly chaotic and terrible. So my optimistic hat on, and keep my fingers crossed that we get through to the end of the year without any further conflict or war. But we're here, we're prepared, we've had a lot of practice over the last 4 or 5 years, and if it happens, we'll be ready to support our clients in the way that they need it at the right time.
And do you have any further comments to finish off?
I wish a successful season's trading for all of Willis and all of our clients, and look forward to the Christmas party.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining this WTW podcast, featuring our latest global market commentary. WTW offers insurance-related services through its appropriately licensed and authorised companies in each country in which WTW operates. For further authorisation and regulatory details about our WTW legal entities operating in your country, please refer to our WTW website. It is a regulatory requirement for us to consider our local licensing requirements. The information given in this podcast is believed to be accurate at the time of publication. This information may have subsequently changed or have been superseded and should not be relied upon to be accurate or suitable after this date. This podcast offers a general overview of its subject matter. It does not necessarily address every aspect of its subject or every product available in the market, and we disclaim all liability to the fullest extent permitted by law. It is not intended to be and should not be used to replace specific advice relating to individual situations, and we do not offer, and this should not be seen as legal, accounting or tax advice. If you do intend to take any action or make any decision on the basis of the content of this podcast, you should first seek specific advice from an appropriate professional. Some of the information in this podcast may be compiled from third-party sources we consider to be reliable. However, we do not guarantee and are not responsible for the accuracy of such. The views expressed are not necessarily those of WTW. Copyright WTW 2025, all rights reserved.